Hey, what's up, carnivores? Zach here with American Smoke, and I want to ask you a question. Do you ever get through cleaning your smoker and you've been vacuuming and scraping and spraying and rubbing and doing all this different stuff, covered in whatever it is, it gets stuck all over everything in there, and you ask yourself, man, this sucks. I wish there was a way that I could not have to do all this as often, and I wish there was an easier way to get it done. That's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about ways to keep your smoker cleaner for longer. So let's go ahead and get into that right now. First of all, make sure you've got a scraper for some stuff. I have to scrape underneath my water pan. If y'all are not getting underneath that water pan, for whatever reason, the design on these, I don't think it's just mine, fat and drippings gets in between your heat plate and your water pan, and I've had a few grease fires come out from underneath that water pan, so y'all need to make sure you're checking that from time to time. First tip early on in the video, just wanted to throw that at y'all. But basically, what we're talking about today is the drip tray and the water pan, which is two big areas that you really have to spend some time and some elbow grease to clean. And the answer to that is aluminum foil. This is heavy duty aluminum foil. I got this giant 500-foot roll from Sam's Club. I think it was like $25, $30, something like that. But I will be using this for a long time. And today we're going to show y'all how to use it to keep your smoker cleaner longer and make cleanup easier. So let's go ahead and get into that right now. Tip numero uno on how to keep your smoker cleaner longer and make cleanup easier. So easy, tip number one, and I did not do this for a long time, and I'm just now starting to get into it, and I'm asking myself, why haven't I always done this? Is to go down to your local grocery store, Amazon or something, and get you some of these. Got these on sale at a grocery store for $1 a piece. Really cheap, not a big deal. You're going to make sure that you sort of check it for adhesives. There are some stickers on the back of this one. You want to make sure to get that off because you don't want that burning up during the smoking process and creating chemicals in your smoker and nasty tastes, all that sort of stuff. If that happens, put another layer of barbecue sauce on it. You'll probably be okay. What we're going to do is we're going to slide it in. It's very technical. You have to turn it at an obtuse angle, multiply that by pi, and divide by the hypotenuse. And what you're able to do at that point is put it just like this and let it in there like that. But anyway, so that's a very technical thing that you can do. And what I like to do is if I've got it on this bottom shelf, I'm gonna put my meat here. This is gonna act as a barrier to smoke coming up from the bottom. You can put stuff here, no problem. But I like it to be a little higher. Like if I'm cooking a Boston butt or some ribs, I like it to be high. That way that smoke can circulate really well underneath the protein that I'm cooking. But it works great if you're cooking multiple things and you're still gonna get lots of smoke circling around it and stuff, but I just like it better having a little more space in between my pan and my protein. That's tip number one. And then all you gotta do is pull that out, wad it up, throw it in the garbage, spray it off with a water hose, whatever you wanna do. Great way to get rid of drippings and fat and all that sort of stuff without having to worry too much. Another extremely scientific and complex process. We're gonna go over that right now. So give me a couple seconds here to get out your paper, pen. Maybe you want to have somebody else come in the room, let them take notes as well. You want to make sure that you don't mess this up. It could get dangerous if you do. We're going to slide this over slightly, not too much. Gonna pull this here. Gonna go way up and over. I think I may have done a little too much. Don't get too aggressive. I'm an aggressive guy, so I don't play games. Some of y'all might know this. Some of y'all might not. I was actually kicked out of elementary school when I was 7 years old because I refused to play. Because I don't play. Find your edges. Make sure that you've got a reasonably even border and you press down and in. Down and in. Remember, it's not in and down. It's down and in. If you get that reversed, you can always correct it by going down and in. Get it all in there. That way don't lose any of your water storage. And then you curl it around the edges. So complex. It's scary to watch me do it and make it look so easy. I know, but that's all it really is. Don't worry about it too much. When you get ready to clean your water pan, all you gotta do is just peel this stuff off of here. Now my water pan is ready to rock and roll, and I can do several cooks with this without having to worry about it. And then all I got to do, pull that foil out of there, and I'm ready to rock and roll. If you're more sanitary than maybe I am, maybe you do whatever, cook. But it just makes it really easy to get all the gunk out of there instead of having to spray it, scrub it, get it back in there, all that messy stuff. So we're gonna get this back into the cooker now. All right, so we got our water pan. Now let's get into our drip tray, which is a little bit more complicated to do. I don't think you're gonna need a calculator, but we might need one. Let's go ahead and get our drip tray and get it wrapped up. You know, spent way too much time cleaning this thing the other day because I didn't do it. And I wish I had, because it's easy. So all you do is you get the appropriate length of foil. There you go, a little heavy, a little extra. And you wanna have a knife, spoon, something that's kind of pokey. We're gonna turn this sideways. And before I wrap anything, I'm gonna sort of just form it to my grate, sort of bending it down over those vent holes. You like to start on one end. Just sort of form that around, just like that. And then I'll like work my way from one end to the other. Get it all bent in and around those vents. That way you maintain the ability to have a vent. And the reason that I spent the time worrying with that, getting it around there, is so that I can go in and just press it in, press that in, press that in. And the reason you want to do this is because, especially if you're cooking with a water pan, this is still going to allow the moisture from that water pan to make its way up into the chamber a little bit more efficiently. That's the reason they went through the trouble of putting these holes into this thing. So you don't want to just lose that altogether because you're wrapping in foil. But this is going to make cleanup 95% easier for sure, if not 96%. Get your calculator out, let me know what you come up with. I did the math, took me 3 days, but that was the conclusion that I came to. And that's it. Now, I didn't mean to wrap this. If you wrap this, whenever you go to put it in there, it's just gonna hook, the foil's gonna hook right there, and it's going to catch when you try to pull it out. It's gonna attempt to rip the foil off. I've got my vents cut out, I've got it wrapped. It's gonna be so much easier to clean. Now let's go ahead and get that into the smoker. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get this back into its designated spot. Make sure to remember that this goes to the back. They should put a sign on there that says not handle, because it definitely looks like a handle. Still gets me, even though I've been using this for a year, cooker for a year, and still gets me. You get it all the way to the back, and remember that you've got to pick up on it to get it to slide on back. So like I said, if you need a bigger cooking area, you can always pull this and not use it. And then you just, you know, it's gonna be protected anyway, because the drippings are gonna hit that foil, they're gonna roll back and make their way into the drip tray and then into the reservoir for your fat and stuff in the backside of your cooker. This is gonna make cleanup so much easier because you cook on this, it gets drippings all over it, rip it off, wrap it back up, you're good to go. Throw this in there when you've got a smaller cook where you don't need all of your shelf space, and that's gonna give you a second layer of protection, and it's gonna double, triple the amount of time that you have between having to worry about cleaning that off so that you don't have a grease fire. I don't know if y'all are checking this, but it's very important to pull out that tray and look right in here. I have a buildup that happens, and that's where I've had 2 different grease fires. So don't think that you are immune to that, because it can happen to anybody, no matter how often you clean. Every once in a while, pull that out and check it, and if you see some buildup, just clean it, because you will straight up ruin whatever you're cooking if that grease fire catches up. I don't know if you've ever smelled burning grease, but it doesn't taste good when it sticks to stuff. So keep that in mind. Guys, if you have any other techniques, let me know in the comments down below. I also have done a couple videos talking about how to clean your glass and the best way to keep it clean, and it's pretty much just regular maintenance. I had somebody comment and tell me that you can use Rain-X on your glass here. Now, depending on how picky you are about chemicals and whatnot, I haven't tried it yet, but I intend to try it. I just, every time I drive by AutoZone or something, I forget. But if you have tried Rain-X on your glass to make it where it wipes cleaner a lot easier, let me know. I'd love to know what kind of results you get. I don't know too much about the chemicals aspect of it. I know my food doesn't touch my glass. I don't know if there's something, you know, that evaporates. I'm sure that if there is something that evaporates into the chamber, that probably happens pretty quickly during the heat up process before you can get your food in there. But y'all let me know your opinions on that in the comment section down below. Guys, if you have any questions or comments or any techniques that you've learned about how to keep your smoker clean longer, make sure to share that with the community here. That way we can all have to clean less. So I like to cook the food, and I definitely like to eat the food, but I don't like cleaning this thing. It's terrible. Terrible. And the more you like to cook, the more often you have to clean. It's a catch-22. Oh, it's a love-hate relationship for sure. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Make sure to smash the like button for me. I hope you decide to become a subscriber to my channel. If you do decide to subscribe, make sure to hit the notification bell. That way you know every time I put out a video like this one. Thank you so much, and we'll see y'all in the next video.